Hi, it's Saturday late evening and I'm doing my emergency deflasking of Vanda babies. I bought this flask from Hengdon Mountain Labs in October and I wanted to keep them in flask until spring. But today I noticed the brown stuff happening down there and there. So I kind of freaked out and decided to deflask them like now. And so I prepared my moss. This is the sphagnum that expands in the water because you need to use like really fresh moss. And those are my trays. They have drainage holes. And so let's open my babies and see what's in there. So I opened the jar and it does not look bad in there. They're all green and fresh. But what happened actually, the flask was damaged a little bit. Well, not a little bit. And the plastic was actually keeping it closed, so it was okay. So I think they're fine. So here's the pack of the orchids. They're gonna swim a little bit here to wash off the agar. It's not very convenient for me to do it with one hand because I'm holding the phone with the other hand. I'm just using warm tap water for this. I don't add any fungicides or any chemicals. I think they look nice. So I'm gonna wash agar of the roots and put them all clean out on a paper towel and we'll see how they look. So here they are all clean. They look pretty good. There's 11 seedlings and one, I don't know what it is. I don't think it's gonna make it, so I'm gonna throw it away. But the rest looking pretty good. So I'm going to put them on the top of this moss and make sure that roots just touching the moss and a little bit covered with moss, just to keep them a little bit moist at the beginning until they start to grow new roots. And done. So I put them on the top of the moss, and this moss is not wet, not soggy, it's just a little bit moist. I squeezed the water out of it, making it fluffy and a little bit moist. And I did not bury all the roots under that moss, just covered slightly, so roots have some moisture from the moss, but they're not suffocated by the moss. So that's what I find works with Vandas at the first steps. I could just put them bare rooted, but they didn't get used to be dry. They were in moist agar, so I want to give them some time to get used to air around the roots, and that's the way I do it. When they start growing new roots, I will remove them from these little trays and put them individually into clay pots without medium or into little baskets without medium, because it's moist in the tank, so they will be better not potted but bare rooted in a container. But for now they are on the moss, I would say, not in the moss. So they will go inside a tank. It's plus 25 there and about 75% humidity. And I think this moss will stay moist for quite a while. And the name of this Vanda is Vanda, brunnea, Guangzhou. So I put them inside of tank. I moved my larger Vandas from this left side of the tank because I wanted to put them into a little bit of shade, not on a strong light for now, for a couple weeks at least, so they get used to. That's where their flask jar, it was standing there in that corner, so they got used to this kind of lighting. So I put them exactly in the same spot, and notice that I removed all the water drips from the leaves, because those leaves right out of flask, they're very fragile and delicate, and the rot will set very easily on them if the water drips will stay. I noticed that comparing to Phalaenopsis, deflasklings, Vanda leaves are a little bit softer, not as sturdy. And the roots are not buried in the moss. They're gonna stay on this moss for a while until I see that the new roots started to grow. And those baby roots, I noticed sometimes they keep baby roots and sometimes they just drop them and grow new roots. So I'm not sure these plants what they will do with their baby roots, but they will be okay on this moss. I will make sure to keep it a little bit moist, not wet, not soggy, and wait until they start growing new roots and new leaves. Once they start growing their new leaves or roots, I can transplant them into single pots, like clay pots, or into baskets. I bought few baskets for my Vanda seedlings. I think this is the cutest thing ever. The little Vanda seedling in its own basket. Those are 4-inch baskets. I bought a lot of them because I have lots of Vanda seedlings. And so some of those brunnea seedlings will go into those baskets. And well, I guess that's all about my emergency deflasking. I hope they will be okay. Wish me luck. And yeah, I'd like them to grow. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.